So we have just finished the National League. Yes, we moved online, started live, we moved it online. We had one person that seemed to be on every live at 5 for as long as we can remember. And it's my great pleasure to introduce the National Poker League champion, the man that's been right up there for a long time. We're going to pick his brain for a couple of minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations and well done to Mr. John Bousfield.
Hi, Phil. Thank you very much. Yeah,
Bousy. Congratulations. How does it feel being National Poker League champion?
It is a feeling of relief to get over the line after being in front for quite a long time. It was definitely a relief to get over the line. It's and then quite proud. It is a big commitment that you take on. So with the prize being so good, the first aim was really to get in the top 5. Obviously, get the package. The package has been so good, and then but even that isn't guaranteed until the last few weeks. So it is a long slog that you've got to commit to. I mean, the G Cup at the end, there's still so many points up for grabs.
Well, it was March when you were leading the National Poker League, and we mentioned you for so many times as still leading. You'd finished third in 2019. Did you make the decision you were going after every point at every single event? When did you decide, I'm off, this is mine, I'm going to try all year?
Well, when it finished last year, I said, no, I probably wouldn't. But I got off to such a good start, like straight away at the grand final, and I had a lot of results early on. That meant with the package that I'd won, it was like, on the other events I was going to commit to, I'd have been foolish not to play the extra ones to help get as many results as possible. So I knew from pretty much the first couple of weeks after saying I probably wasn't, that I was going to give it a go. And I knew how much difference each tournament can make as well, at the end of the year.
Yeah. Well, obviously we started live, and then things just took a turn for the worse for live everything in 2020. How did you find the switch from going live? Because we've known each other for years doing the circuit. You do all the GKPTs, you've done all the tours that we've ever done. What was it like just switching to online?
I would have preferred it live. I was kind of hoping that when it went into lockdown, as soon as I was top of the league, they'd just say, well done, there's no more live events. Thank you very much, Leslie Trophy. And thanks for coming. That would have been a bit easier. But the move the events online, like we did the first couple of weeks, one of the disadvantages was that you had to commit. It was an event every Saturday and every Sunday, so you were playing 2 events everyone. It gave everybody a chance to catch up and make the ground up. And there's a big group of online players who were good as well. So if they strung a few results together, then they could have put a lot of pressure on the top spot as well, the top 5 places, which they did in the end. The couple of them coming up. But I managed to get a few decent results before the networks changed, and then carried on the same way in the first month or 2 after that. The last few months weren't quite as good, and like I say, I didn't do as well, but definitely it was definitely changed the dynamics of the league.
Can you remember actually what tournament or even a hand within a tournament? Can you remember that made you think, well, actually, I could run pretty deep in this because I got a bit lucky, or it was a tournament I shouldn't have won, but I did?
Yeah. There's 2 pivotal hands actually. That one I knew at the time, and one looking back when I was looking at the last few weeks where I thought about this. The first one was at the grand final. With about 50 players left. I'd already had a result of the 6 max early on in the week, so I had a few points. And I just won a flip that put me quite well up in chips and was going to propel me for a deep run. And when I went all in, the lad took ages. I pretty much knew we had a small pair. I think I had ace queen, and he called. And I remember when he was thinking, I thought if he calls, I win this flip. That's me for a year. That's the year. I'm in it now. So that was the first one. And then when I was looking back over the last few weeks, and Guy Taylor was chasing me down, going back to the very first event of the National League, there was 2 online events, the UK Six Max and the Heads Up. The grand final that were played at the grand final, the online and the final sale was at the Vic. And in the Six Max, with either on the bubble or 7 or 8 left, I got in a flip on one mat. They got me on the final table. But the other person in the flip, the other player was Guy Taylor. So if he'd have swapped the points over, would have been like there'd have been nothing in it right at the end, I think he might be in the pit, So even going back over the full 12 months, the very first tournament of the National League made a big difference. So
well, talking to Guy, obviously he was pushing you towards the end, and the again narrow and narrow the margin of points and the difference. He had a fantastic last month, did Guy. How much did you sweat? Were you checking his results?
No, not really. Yes, so I definitely was. Yes, I definitely was. I mean, I think there was a tournament in August that he won at 25-25. They put him in the top 5. I think we got the final table and he won it. And he played well there. And I sort of thought, he's got a chance, but he's still got to have a few good results. But he just kept getting the results every time he needed them, I mean, he played really well. And I mean, he won the high roll at the start of G Cup, and he ran really well. Last 2 tables, he ran like a dream, But there was also some spots in the last couple of months before that where he was in good positions, and he actually ran bad. I seen a couple of hands where he was really unlucky. So it was. So he did have a great last couple of months, to put the pressure on,
Yeah. Well, every time we mentioned you on the live at 5, the gap was getting narrower and narrower. We're thinking, hey, is he ever going to get overtaken? But eventually, you was crowned the champion. You got the 14,000 package. Obviously, it's going to fund you a lot for next year. Probably online to start with, and then whatever happens when we go back to playing live poker. Are you already thinking of going back to back? Are you the man to beat? Are we gonna see people trying to beat John Bousfield when we get in tournaments?
I mean, it does depend on the format of the league next year. I mean, there's so much change this year with it going online, And like I said, I did get a great start in the live series last year, so I know they're going to announce it over the next up and coming the National League. So I will look at that and have a look. But with having the package already, it does mean that you're already playing a lot of the big events. I mean, obviously they changed the tickets over to online this year, so you can play them events. So that helped, And it'll be something similar next year, But again, it's more online. There's a good group. I mean, you look at the top 20. There's some great players in there who are good online.
There is, some great names.
And very consistent, So there's a lot of them that are going to be probably favourites, I would say. It was online, but yeah, I'll give it a go, and I'll play quite a few of the events, and hopefully I'll be somewhere next year.
Yeah, well, obviously Rich Kellett says he wasn't going to chase it or anything like that, but he ended up being in the top 30 or 35 or something like that. So it just shows once you start playing and get a few points, that you just carry on, and it's like got you, hasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, like the way it worked out as well, with having the results like sort of back to me, just felt as if I was going to tournaments and just cashing like for fun, really. And like Manchester, just before I finished, I had a great Manchester. And like so, you've already got the packages there to play, so you're going to play the events. And once you string a few results to get a bit of confidence, then you can soon sort of up there going for a challenge. So.
Yeah. Just a little bit about yourself before we finish. Do you have a poker idol, my old fruit?
Ooh, poker idol. I mean, going back, I just remember watching some of the poker characters on TV. Like the Devilfish and Mad Marty. Them type of players. I always like to have a bit of fun wherever you go. And so them players were always players who would have a sort of good sense of humour, and I mean some great players on the play now, of course. But back in the day, I would say they were the people you were looking up to. We're talking at the table and having a bit of a laugh.
If you sat in seat 6 and there's a spare seat 7, who would be the favourite person to come and sit side if it was anybody at all in the world who plays poker?
Who would be the first person to sit next to me? I mean, going back maybe like to Phil Ivey, from although just the results he's had over time, I mean, I know there's some new ones now, but they were the ones when he first started playing. I suppose they're the ones who we look up to more, and they were the ones getting the results then.
Yeah. favourite starting hand, or even a favourite hand that you like to 3-bet when you shouldn't be, or even a 4-bet?
Four bet. Yeah, I mean, 7-8 suited. 7-8 suited is a hand that probably gets me in more trouble than it should do, but it's one of my favourite hands that I do like to play. So yeah, I do like it. 7-8 hearts.
The 7-8 of hearts. I'm going to remember it for when we start doing commentary again. But the 7-8 hearts of John Bousfield.
Yeah.
Your favourite tournament you'd like to win? Obviously, the World Series would be the biggest one. Is there an event that John Bousfield would turn up to and think this is the one I really wanted?
Yeah, I mean, the World Series events are obviously fantastic, but I mean, the ones like Blackpool, Blackpool events is because going back in when you first started playing, and that was the first festival you went to, and it's such a good atmosphere, still to this day, that the buzz is there. So I've always loved going to Blackpool, so that would be one of the top of my list, definitely.
Yeah. Well, John, it's been an absolute pleasure. We've followed it since the end of last year when it started again. And your name has been at the top of the list for a lot of months. It's been an absolute pleasure. Congratulations. You're joining Rich Kellett in the Grosvenor Polka Hall of Fame for 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, Player of the Year, Mr. John Bousfield. Cheers, John.
Thank you very much. Thanks, guys.